What is up, guys? Jake from OneHive here with the next Coffee and Clash video. It's that magical time, that wonderful moment when we sit back, we pour a cup of coffee, and we talk about this wonderful game that we all love while you watch some 3 stars in the back. So there you go. Let's get right to it. Raphael Lingve is how you say that. Hey, Jake, a longtime fan, CNC question. Do you have a OneHive Clash Royale clan / are you planning to make one in the future? And what is your deck? Are you having good success with your deck? My deck has been retired already. No, there is a OneHive. I think there is a OneHive Clash Royale clan. I'm not in it. I've tried that game twice and uninstalled it both times. I think it's got a lot of potential. I think it's a fun game, but I get very frustrated. I'm a competitive person, and I think the way the competition is set up, the way the matchups happen, is just not fun. It's just not. It's not fair. It's not competitive. Once you start winning and you get, you might get your deck figured out and you get good, then immediately you are matched up with people that are higher level than you that have an advantage. It's sort of a pay to win. If you've spent more money, you've got higher level cards, and that's not fun to me. I don't think that's what competition's all about. I much prefer something like a Vainglory to where there is no pay to win. It's just about who's better. That's it. So no Clash Royale for me. Possibly in the future, because again, there is some things I like about the game. If they make some changes about how it works and how it's set up, you could see me there. But as of right now, no, not playing. T4N2. If they do a 1-hour war, what should the cost and train times be for troops, and what will the loot bonus be? My opinion, if they do something like that, there should be no training time. Now, cost, if they wanted to leave it the same, just so there's not a huge, I'm assuming there have to be some type of reward for winning. So if there's not just a huge, flux of loot coming into the system, possibly just have the cost be the same, but again, no train time. You should not have to use any of your time for building. It should be simply for scouting and planning and things like that. Hopefully that's the route they go if and when they bring something like this into them. I really hope I get a chance to talk with some devs from Supercell about some ideas for something like that before it actually gets to be a final product where they'll listen and sort of take feedback. I hope that's the route they're going and what they plan on doing. I hope they don't plan on doing it all on their own without any feedback from the community, because I think that could be a catastrophe, but we'll see. But I think there should be no build times for a short game mode like that. Rag262. CC question. Hey, Jake, I know you're not big into trophy pushing, but what are your thoughts on the current system, especially in Legend League, considering how someone recently hit 6,000 trophies? I've voiced my opinion quite a bit about trophy pushing, and no, I'm not a trophy pusher, but a lot of trophy pushers have agreed with me and my suggestions for how that should be fixed. Basically, I think the system is inherently broken. There's not, things like everything they do is sort of a band-aid to it. But until you change the way matchups happen to where when you hit the search button, it's not just looking for someone else that's around 5,400 trophies. It's looking for just a fair matchup for you. It's not going to be an enjoyable experience for most people. Most people don't want to sit in the clouds for hours and hours just waiting for that one offer to come by. Now, some people obviously do, and they're willing to do it to be at the top spot. But the vast majority of players out there have no interest in that, nor do they have time to do it. And truly, it does not reflect skill. It just reflects time. A commitment is all it reflects. So that being said, I think they should change it to where when you hit the search button, it just finds someone, regardless of what their trophy situation is, it finds someone that is in your same skill level, your same tier, whether it be defensively, offensively. If I'm Town Hall 11 with maxed offense, I should be going up against max Town Hall 11s. Whether they're in Gold League or Legends League, it really doesn't matter. Those are the bases I should be facing. If I'm a Town Hall 9 with, 20 or 15 heroes, I should not be facing Town Hall 8s or Town Hall 10s. I should be facing mid-level Town Hall 9s, and there's millions of them out there. So they need to match that up. Now, I know there's ways you can abuse that. If people get too high, you say all this stuff. I've laid all this out. My plan has been laid out, how they could fix it. You can go back and check the video out. I think it was the Rant to End All Rants video where I talked about that in detail, so you can check that out. But yeah, the system that they've got now is not good for trophy pushing. It needs to be adjusted. Hopefully it will be sometime in the future. William Lee. Hey, Jacob, what do you think of Supercell allowing some type of sandbox mode where clans can attack bases after the war is over? I think this will allow everyone to be fair play, yet keep the same rate of innovation as before. In theory, that's a fine idea. The problem is people will always go above and beyond to abuse any system like that you put into place. So you cannot do it. You cannot put anything like that in the game. Just to give you a simple example, they would find much more creative ways to do it. They would have their alts in a separate clan, and when we had the war, because it's quote off day in the opposite clan, they would rebuild the base, they would mod it, they would practice it, and then they would abuse that going forward. So you can't do that. It's going to be abused. For better or worse, it's just the way it is. We have to have one attack. It's got to be one and done. Otherwise, people will always cheat to get that unfair advantage. So you just can't do stuff like that. Brad Smith, CNC question. Have you noticed an error in the Queen's AI that affects her targeting the Eagle Artillery, specifically if it is 3 spaces behind a wall, which is close enough for her to target over the wall? She will ignore it and not target it. This may not always be the case, but it happens to me a few wars ago, etc. Great vids, man. Keep it up. Yes, I know what you're talking about. And apparently, what that is something to do with the Eagle Artillery, because it's a 4x4 building. It literally, the center of it is a half a tile too far, if that makes sense. Normally, you can have a wall, a building, and if the next building is butted up right against that first building, if they're all touching each other, the Queen can reach the second building. However, in the case of an Eagle Artillery, that's just not how it works. I don't know why. I don't know why that's different than every other building on the map, but it is. And it will not let her target that for some unknown reason. So you have to make sure that she can actually reach it one tile closer than normal. I think in almost every scenario. Maybe there's times that it works both ways, but I think in almost every scenario, if it's that maximum distance, she'll pretty much ignore it and move on her way. So yeah, I've noticed it. I've heard about it. I don't know why that is. Hopefully that's something that they might adjust and fix. It doesn't make any sense. It's completely contradictory to everything that the Queen does. So hopefully that's just a bug that might get fixed in the future. Mikhail Tal. CC question. Hey Jake, Master Weed openly admitted on Twitter that he modded ever since he joined OneHive. How do you and other co-leaders didn't catch him as he was modding since several months? What are other ways the leaders of your clan use to find if someone mods or not? If Master Weed uninstalls mod and changes name and wants to join back, will you take him? Why do you delete? My question, not fair. I have no idea what you're talking about. If you asked a legitimate question like this, I didn't delete it. Now, if you went on a rant or a tirade about how OneHive is awful and we're all closet modders and like that, I probably did delete it. But that's probably not, this is not the way you worded the first one, I would assume. So, that being said, Master Weed, and I've since I put out the video about the split from Genesis and Prime, I've gotten so many, or not Genesis and Prime, I'm sorry, Genesis and Alpha, sorry, didn't mean to say that. Prime is still with us. I've gotten so many people saying that, I'm a hypocrite, or I didn't do this, or I didn't do that. What people don't realize is that the video that I put out, the State of OneHive 3.0 video, was literally not about someone modding in Genesis. It was simply to explain and announce that we are no longer associated with them. I didn't name a modder. I didn't try to shame them. I wish them the best of luck. It was simply a failure to be able to follow the same set of rules that we have abided by, that we have laid down for anybody that wants to associate with us. They weren't willing to follow it. And that's what the video was about. Now, I have never made dedicated videos to people that got caught modding in OneHive. There's been several over the years, and we've always removed them. Master Wheat was one that just self-confessed and immediately was removed from the clan and the group me and all that stuff. How did we not catch him? Because he was good at hiding it. If he was 3-starring every single attack, every single war, I think we would have suspected something. Clearly, that wasn't the case. He was, I don't know if he was throwing attacks or just doing some fair play. I don't know. Yes, he was a very good attacker, but there was obvious times that he made mistakes in attacks. They weren't perfect. He failed attacks. It was just something that it's impossible, guys. It's impossible for leaders and players to detect it. The only people that can detect it is Supercell. They're doing a very good job of that now, I believe. So there's just no, he was there for a long time, and yes, he came out and said he modded. I didn't make a video about it. I've never tried to hide it. I've never tried to deny it. It sucks. It was a gut punch to everybody that was in the clan. I just, it blows me away, and I find it so hard to understand how the video that I put out and then this Master Wii situation or Gil or any of the ones that we've caught and removed have any correlation. I really don't understand that. I think people are just grasping and wanting to throw salt at us and be upset about something. But I've never denied it. I've never tried to hide it. I've talked about it on streams. I've talked about it openly in comment, whatever. It's something that I'm not trying to sweep under the rug or hide. It's like I told you guys in that video. I never will. I will never make a dedicated video anytime we catch someone in OneHive and they're removed. It doesn't warrant a dedicated video. It doesn't deserve one. And neither did someone getting caught in Genesis. The video literally had nothing to do with that. If I come out with a video and said, hey guys, we're splitting from Genesis and Alpha with zero explanation, obviously that would require some explanation. So that's what I gave. Not trying to downgrade them, whatever. It was simply a disagreement on how a situation should be handled. And when we are, a fair play clan like we are, and we stand for certain things, right or wrong, indifferent, it doesn't matter. When our clan families don't follow the same rules we do, then we can't be a family anymore. Again, nothing against Genesis or Alpha. I love those guys. I wish them the best. We just simply couldn't go forward being linked like that anymore. So yes, Master Wheat cheated, and he cheated when he was in OneHive. It was unfortunate, and it really upset a lot of people because he was part of our family, and he's someone that a lot of people liked and played with him. I still like the guy. Master Wheat, I met him in person. Super nice guy. Still like him. It's unfortunate what he did in our clan. It really is, and that's how I feel about it. So all of that stuff about weed and et cetera in the video, I just don't, it blows me away. But there's the best explanation I can give you guys. There will never be a video dedicated to someone getting caught modding. I don't think it warrants it. I don't think it deserves it. It just is what it is. We remove them and we move on. And that's how it always be. Past used by mobile gaming and more. Jake, one of the reasons I like your channel is because you don't have any clickbait titles. They are all truthful and humble titles, as if you don't want to attract as many views as possible. Is there any reason for this? It's not that I don't want to attract as many views as possible, because I do. And I love when I still get people that find the channel and it helps them, and they start learning to play the game a little differently, a little more competitively, and they really enjoy it. So I like that, and I want to draw as many people as I can, but I don't want to do unrealistic things. I don't want to have someone come to one of my videos expecting something and get something completely different and being like, what is this? This is not what I was looking for. You know what I mean? When I do that, it upsets me. I don't usually return to that channel. Obviously it works because a lot of people do it and they get huge channels and huge numbers of views and subs and all that stuff. But for the viewers that I feel like I want, I don't think it works, because it just, when it happens to me, I move on normally. So I want viewers that are like myself, that are loyal and that find what they're looking for and really appreciate it. And I feel like I've got that, I feel like I've got that above a lot of other people that have more numbers than me and they get more views than me, but they don't have those loyal guys that really appreciate what they do. And so that's the reason I've never done it. I don't intend to. It's just not worth it to me. I feel like there's an agreement. There's a bond between me and my viewers and my subs and the people that love my videos. And the views and the money and the clicks and all that stuff, I don't know. It's just not worth it. I'm not going to do it. I don't know what else to say. That's a good question, and that's the best I can answer. General as death. General as death. Coffee Flash question, Jake, bro, not all your followers on Twitter, etc. So why mention what happened to Hold My Beer and most recently Master Weed? You said you won't hide anything from us, referring to the State of OneHive video. Can you please tell me the people who don't know about why 1.0 and 2.0 are no longer related? Keep up the good work, man. And One Class YouTuber, cheers. Sort of already answered that, but there wasn't an additional question. I should have probably back to back there. But again, I won't put a dedicated video. I will always be open about it, whether you're catching me on a stream or you ask me on Twitter or whatever. If I don't respond to every comment, I'm sorry, but it just doesn't warrant a dedicated video. Now, the reason I want to put this question in here as well is because of the 2.0 question. It was the same thing. There was a situation where they did not like the way we handled something. It was sort of reversed. But we handled it according to our rules. It was back when ASAP was being massively accused of botting. We removed him from the clan. We investigated. We tested out what he said. It was obvious that it was entirely possible and that it was beneficial to do what he was doing, which was he was at Town Hall 11 sniping, or Town Hall, yeah, he's Town Hall 11. No, Town Hall 10. I'm sorry, Town Hall 10 sniping down in Silver League, because right after the update came out, a lot of people down there left their town halls out because they're very casual players. They didn't know to put their town hall in. And there was a lot of resources and free resources, and he could do it over and over, and it was 100% profit. There was no cost. He could literally drop his queen, snipe the town hall, hit next, do it again over and over. He could do 3 or 4 a minute, and that added up to a lot over a few hours. There, again, no cost, profit, 100%. And so when he told us that, we tested it. We had people that actually went down there, did it, and said, yeah, this is actually pretty nice, and I can do hundreds of attacks every single day, and it doesn't take that long. It's not like you had to be on 24 hours a day. A few hours a day, you had hundreds of attacks, and it added up pretty quick. And we had botters that we asked that said, yeah, there's no, he had 3,000 attacks, they had 10,000 attacks. And it's not like they were running their bots 24/7. So again, it's just one of those things. They didn't like the way we handled it, and so we decided to split. It is what it is. We have our rules. Our rules are set, and we follow them, and we expect our family to follow them. Obviously, 2.0 did not like that. It's nothing against them. They had some leadership at the time that I think was pretty toxic, and they've since been removed, so I think 2.0 agreed those guys were toxic, and it was just one of those things we had to split from them. It was just business. It was just people, when you have 100 people on either side of it, counting feeders and all that stuff, it's hard for everyone to get along. And we've learned that, and we've moved on from it. So nothing against them. It is what it is. We try to handle things the best we can, given the state of the game. Now, Supercell's made it much easier on us. We feel like we can sort of relax a little bit and just know that they're policing it. We don't have to police it as hard. So hopefully there won't be as many things like this going forward. But again, I wanted to put several of these questions in here today because I did not want to try to hide anything. I just want to get it out there and get it, where you guys know. I'm not trying to pretend or not trying to hide. Yes, we've had modders. I've said for the last year and a half, we've probably got some closet modders. If we knew who they were, they wouldn't be in the clan. Now we pretty much know they're not in the clan. So it is what it is moving forward. We don't have to worry about this stuff anymore. Hella Clash. Do you think Supercell newfound interest in fighting modding is linked to the new competitive form of gameplay that they are working that makes it necessary? Hoping to capitalize on potential of esports for CCI. It's kind of a confusing question, but I think I get your gist, and I hope so. There's no way for me to know what exactly they're working on. It's not like even being under the NDA that they're just spilling every single thing on their mind that they're working on, but let's hope so. I hope I get to help them with things like that. I hope I get to give them input, and because I think it's there. I think it's waiting for them. I think if they'll just grab it, it will explode, and it will bring the game back from where it was. It's not at its peak anymore. That's obvious. They know that. I know that. You guys know that. I think it could come back to that point. So hopefully, going forward, that will be something that we get to look at. And hopefully, this was the first step, because we've always said before it can go that direction, you've got to fix the modding. Hopefully, they've done that now, or at least started down the road to do that, and we'll finish it off soon. First class clash. That's hard to say. 101. It's an easy question. Do you think big YouTubers like Chief Pat, Clash on Gan, etc., have stopped playing Clash because of the drop in game excitement? That they haven't announced that they are posting Clash Clans anymore, but it's been ages since both the Clash videos have been posted. Love your vids. Keep up the great work. Yeah, it's interesting because you look at people like Pat and Molt, and you go down the list, and essentially they don't play Clash anymore, or don't post Clash anymore. They've moved on. I mean, Cam sort of said he was going to quit and then backed off of it. He sort of back to posting, but some of their biggest YouTubers out there have sort of stopped. And I think there's a couple of reasons. One is, yes, views were going down. I mean, I've experienced it. My views are down from what they were for Clash videos. Just general lack of interest in the game because of lack of new content. And those guys make their living on this. They're not like me, to where their real job is where they make their living. And this is a hobby and or second job, however you want to look at it. So I think it's a combination of just, hey, I got to keep my views up. I got to find the next thing that's gonna draw those views in, and boredom. They have been doing it a long time, longer than I have. And it is something that they looked at and said, hey, I just want to do something different. I want to, play something I'm enjoying, not something I'm just doing because it's my job. So I think it's a combination of the two things. Hopefully that all comes back though. Again, I think Supercell can revive Clash. They've just got to continue to make the right decisions. They've been going down the right path. They've just got to continue down it. And I think we will all see those people start sort of creeping back in because they know it's getting big again. So we'll see about that. And so now to finish it off here, a couple of patron questions here. The question, hey Jake, how would you feel about the game mode in Clash where it is a huge base, too big to 3-star, and you have to compete with others to get the highest percentage? 1v1 game mode. That's interesting. I would be open to anything like that. I've always said there's got to be different and new ways to enjoy your trophy, which is your base, your heroes, your troops, the things that we've all spent time, money, all that on. Any new way to enjoy that, some people are going to love it, some people aren't, but it's all good. It's all good. Something like that, awesome. Let's see it. Anything that brings people back, that gives them something to do with this base that they've spent so much of their time on, so much of their life on. For some people, it's just they've got to do it. So we'll see what they do. Jesse W. Chaos Hammer says a question. Town Hall Agent used to be able to use Elixir for walls at one time. They took it in saying it caused disruption in the Elixir flow in the game. With the new update today, reducing times for troops and spells, which is a freaking beautiful thing. Do you think that now with peeps raiding more often and faster that there will be another Elixir flow problem? Myself, I think yes. Town Hall 9's up needing Elixir basically just for the walls. We'll be throwing out a wall or two a day now. 6 mil Elixir now not flowing. They will eventually have to address this, hopefully just by increasing the amounts pumps can make. I think probably not, just to disagree with you, I guess. There's going to be, they just did a huge influx of loot out of thin air, out of thin air to the economy with the loot crates. When you get attacked, you get some of it back. And that loot it's not like you're taking it back from the person that attacked you. That is literally loot that is created from nothing. So to have a little bit of more attacks going on, that's actually infusing more loot out of nothing into the economy, if that makes sense. When you attack someone, if I take loot from you, that's a net zero. You lost it, I got it. Someone else takes it from me, it's still a net zero. But this loot crate and the bonuses, the daily bonuses, all of that is just, it's not from elixirs, it's not normal inflow of loot coming into the game. It is out of thin air. And when you have that over millions of players, that's a lot. And so it would take something pretty drastic to actually cause a problem in the short term about loot, in my opinion. Because again, so much is just flowing in every attack. Every time someone gets attacked, anywhere, new loot is being generated into the economy. So I don't see that as a problem. They probably need a few loot sinks like that to help combat it, in my opinion. So there you go. That's my answer. Thank you guys for all the questions. That is it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the replays. Hope you enjoyed the questions. Please leave me questions in the comments below for future videos. Until then, Jake from OneHive doing my best to help you guys suck less.